Okay, we're recording, and Doris is here today. Yay! So I just now had you do, while I put my shoes on, the sit to stand. And if you add the arms, make sure that you keep your chin tucked and your shoulders down. And I hope you're watching how moderate paced, not fast, that I'm doing a sit to stand. And I'm starting to propriocept. Remember that word from last week? If you don't deal with proprioception and really understand it, that's your relationship, your whole muscle, bones, joints, their whole relationship, and it starts at the feet to the ground. So I can go out, in, and if I do 20 sit to stands with my elbows out, my arms elevated to put my hands under my chin, I keep my chin tucked. When I go to stand, I don't do a rocking thing. What do? I push into the heels. I make sure I'm shining my taillights. And I stand. And every single time that I'm up here, I say shoulders down. Okay? So whenever that I go into a stand, I want to squeeze my butt. I bet you haven't been doing that. When you stand and you're on all four corners of your feet, that's when you tighten this in. Some of you don't tighten it in. You know why? Because you go too fast. Yeah, I got some little speed demons. I have some little speedy slugs. They like to slug around very fast, and then they don't have to innervate certain muscles, see? I know. You know who you are. Okay? Drop your shoulders. 1. Squeeze your butt. 2. Now release and push into the heels. Now push into the heels and stand. Now into the heels. Now hip hinge and push into the heels. So you want the power, see, to come through your big quads and your gluteals. So right now, squeeze tight before you go back down. Okay? And so I keep my hands here, and then when I come down, I just open out, and I remind myself to drop my shoulders. So this move is especially important to get over the forward head syndrome. Because when you go like this, and you drop your shoulders, you naturally have to pull that head down and back. See that? So I'm going heels, heels, tighten the butt, heels, release, heels, tighten the butt, drop your shoulders, those two things. Here we go. Hip hinge. So here's the deal. On the last 3, I want you to really think about the hip hinge. Because see, whenever people are down here like this, and they go to stand up, the reason you feel the need to do that really funny little swing to get yourself up is because you haven't hit the right position. So what I want you to do is really push into the heels, really do the hip hinge, come down, now push hard into the heels and innervate right here, right there. See? Yeah, so this is going to be about quads and hamstrings today. Yes, we'll pull in some shoulders. I always do that. But when you are facing any kind of major surgery having to do with your back, having to do with your knee, having to do with your feet, which are all problem areas. Okay, right now, hip hinge. Keep your shoulders down. Okay, now go to the heels, not your toes. Heels. Hang out down here for just a second. Go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Push your butt back. Go into your heels so that these start to scream. If you do it any other way and you don't feel these screaming, I will guarantee you're using your back inappropriately and your knees are going to suffer. Okay? These are the muscles that we want to build on today. Now, can you effectively do that with weights on the ankle? Absolutely. But that's one more thing that if you have and they're sitting right there, great. You can strap them on. Because when you do this and you have leg weights, well, you're going to start feeling it. I'll guarantee you. I don't have leg weights here. Now, I have a whole bunch at the gym. I think. Did I give those to that company? Ooh, I'll have to go look. But here's the deal, y'all. Drop your shoulders and just come like this. And just come like this. Now, we're going to do the opposite or the antagonistic muscle group to this in just a moment. But I'm just holding my hands out here. I'm shifting. I'm keeping my shoulders down. I'm keeping my chin tucked. And I'm just coming up to 90 degree right here. See this? When I work with people to help their gait, and I've done many of them, this move right here is where I start. Do I put weight on it? No, they're not ready for that. Because if they can't keep their tummy tight and keep in good posture while we're shifting, lifting, plant, shift, lift. See, I'm not going fast. But I'm being very careful to make sure that I'm in good postural lineup while I'm doing this very simple move. And some of you might think, oh, that's too easy. We need to do something harder. No, this is the exact test that you would be given if you went to see a geriatric clinic or a professional in medical, and they wanted to see just how frail that you are. They would see how long you can hold balance with your hip in this kind of flexion and extension. This is flexion. And how long you can hold it and be in control. Now, hopefully you have good supportive shoes right now. Can you do this barefooted? Absolutely. But we're going to really work on legs today. Okay? And we're going to do it in such a way that it will not hurt your knee or your hip or your back. And where it starts is how is my feet hitting the ground. And I'm doing this repeatedly. And I don't know, some of you may be feeling it right now. Some of you may need to, when you do one-legged moves like this, you may need to position yourself so that you can put your hand on a wall or even on your chair. See? And you'll see me use my chair when I go to the antagonistic muscles, meaning the back part of the leg muscles. But folks, listen, this is the deal. If you find it difficult to do this move, holding good neutral posture 20 or 30 times, or if you don't want to do it that many times, that's fine. What you need to do is practice holding. And you want to hold 1001, 1002, 1003, and put the leg down when you say put it down, not when your reaction is, oh, I got to keep myself from falling. And I'm going to tell you, when we do these one-legged challenges, be where you can put your hand on something that's going to stabilize you, okay? So right now my knee is soft, that's holding this. I want this at 90 degrees, so that means right up here, see that? And I want to hold it 5, 10, 15 seconds. That's my goal. And if you do not have the endurance nor the posture, the postural ability to hang on to this move, then I cannot, as a trainer, really put weight around your ankle, because that's going to up the ante everywhere, all the way up the spine. And if you don't have good postural lineup for, 2 sets of 10 of this kind of a thing and holding balance, if you're still struggling with balance, then we got to work on that. And we're going to do some of the very moves that will help stabilize your spine and your hip, okay? So this one is a very important one, because this move, getting somebody where they can do 3 sets of 10 of this move and hold it, and then put it down, and then shift, and then tighten in the tummy, bring it up, okay? And don't be going fast, because it's an over or under balance move that's going to get you swinging your arms, flailing for balance, okay? So I want you to be steady, and that means you have to deal with your proprioception issues with your feet. Yeah, some of you have some real injuries in your feet. If you are a person that has plantar fasciitis or other ankle issues, for sure, do this with your hand on something. Why? Because you're not going to jar that foot so much trying to get your balance back. See, that's what happens a lot of times. Okay, now let's swing and go to the antagonistic muscles. So I got my chair right here in front of me if I need it, or a pole. You could even use a pole. So now I'm going to use those muscles that I used to do the squat to stand, or the sit to stand. So I'm right here. Put your hands here and then just bring it above the chair. See that? Put that leg back. Okay? Soften the knee. Now squeeze your gluteal and lift. And if you need to, put your hands on, just barely touch the chair. That's going to help you use the muscles that I'm trying to target, which is your hamstring, your gluteal, your back extensor, all the way down to your ankle. See, I can go point flex, point flex, point flex. Bring it back, put that foot down. Okay? Here's the deal. Many of y'all, when you go to put your kickstand down right here, you need to soften your knee. You're doing good there. Then say rib cage up. The hands are up here. Now on this leg, this is my hip replace side. You're probably going to see me keep my hands on the chair. Why? Because I do funny little compensatory moves. I turn my foot. Many of you turn your foot out. You're lifting with the stronger quad. You're not lifting with the hamstring. Some of you bend at your knee. We'll do that one, but not right now. Okay? So what I'm trying to get you to do is straighten up. Use your hand on the chair. Tighten your tummy. Keep this knee soft. The leg that's lifting is straight. And you're going to go pull from the hip. So this is squeezing. And I want to keep my toe headed down. Okay? Or straight forward, I should say. The heel lifts. The heel takes the whole leg up from the hip. So it's going to be pull. And those of you who might have hips or knees replaced, I'm telling you, just a few of these done correctly, you will start saying, oh my goodness, I'm feeling that in that hamstring. The hamstring are the muscles right here, behind the thigh muscle, okay? Right there. Breath. Keep that toe headed down. Breath. 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 Stay rib cage up. And then bring it back in. Bent knees. Yes. Turn that chair right around here. Whew. Take a big deep breath and go like this. Okay, keep your shoulders down. Now's the time. Now's the time that you can bend the knees a little bit and get a rhythm. Okay, so anytime you need to do a nice little recovery, this is a good way to do it. You keep your shoulders down, you turn, take a big breath, back and forth. You do a little kind of a pulse from your knees, okay? But every time I go down, every time I do this, see, I'm pushing my butt back just a tiny bit, okay? Keep that tummy tight, tummy tight, tummy tight. Now, we're going to do what's called progressive squatting. So we're going to use our chair, and I'm going to go ahead and use a pad for the first part of the class. Then the second part, I'm going to take the pad out of there. Some of you might be noticing that when you're in a chair, it's really difficult for you to just stand up. And what you're having to do is you're having to either push yourself up, have somebody grab you. That's not what you want to do, okay? So we've done sit to stand to warm up, correct? So what am I doing? Well, I could get one hand weight and just hold it here. It's whatever you feel comfortable doing. I could use one weight. See? I just want to add progressive loading to my quads. 20 pounds might be too much for you. So you might want to just get one weight and make it like a 9 or a 12, something challenging, maybe a 6. It's whatever you feel you can do, correct sit to stand modality. So I'm going to be shoulder width apart with my feet to start with. Have your toes comfortable, mostly forward. Then I got these weights. So I got 20 pounds, okay? I can keep them right here. And as I go down, I'm going to just tap, and I want to really push my taillights back. And then I'm going to come up, and I'm just going to come right here. See, that elbow pull should pull that shoulder back. So I'm going to go back down. I'm going to barely tap. So right here, ask yourself, do I feel it in my heels more than in the front of my knees? That will answer the question for me as a trainer as to if you're in correct position, okay? So right here, you go into the heels, take the pressure off the knees. If you want to go ahead and sit, that's totally up to you. What I would like for you to do is hover or hoover right over that chair and then come right back up. So see, I'm doing this whole thing with 20 pounds because I picked 10 and 10. Okay, you get to pick whatever weight just gives you a little bit more load than what your body weight is. See, heels. See, I don't go and sit, but I have my pad there on the chair. That gives me about 2 inches, not quite 2 inches. And I have to continue the whole move, very moderately paced. So I'm in my heels, I'm coming up, keep my shoulders down, I'm tapping the back part of my legs, I'm squeezing my butt right there at the top. Then you release, keep your shoulders down. Most importantly, breathe. Right there. Right there. Stay with me. Stay with me. I'm doing every one of these with you. Just stay with it. Here's what I want you to notice right now. Whether you sit or whether you just tap, don't start doing that funny little swing. Okay? We're really good at it. So I'm saying stay into the heels. Keep your quads fully contracted right here, right here. Take a big breath. Stay with me. Just got a few more. Hang with me. Breath. One more. Breath. Don't do that funny little rocking thing. So you just come up here, pull those elbows back, keep my shoulder blades going back, just right there. Breath. Okay, 3 more. All right, stay with me. You're doing good. Here we go. I can hear Kathy. Do you know how many of those things we've done? Kind of. Take a breath. Okay, I think 1 more. Okay, right there. Whoa. How are you feeling? So this is a progressive sit to stand. I'm using a pad. It's amazing how much 2 stinking little inches help you get up easier. However, put your weights right here while I'm going to the next move. See, just push into the heels. See, I'm just acting like I'm doing a high bench sit down. See that? So I have medium weights right now. Whatever's medium for you. Sit into your heels. Really rib cage up. And bring 1 weight at a time. Or if you just have 1 weight here in the middle, that's fine. Just bring it to here. Bring it to here. See? So it's a breath, 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 breath. So the big deal is about the raised little pillow cushion on your chair. So yes, it makes a huge difference in people being able to get out of their chairs easier. You know, do you find yourself when you go into a room somewhere looking for a higher chair to sit in? Well, notice it's much easier to get up off of a higher chair. But the caveat to that is that's where you start. That's not how you want to progress. So when I say we're going to do progressive squatting today, that means I'm going to take that pillow out of there. Okay, because when you have to go a little bit further down, it's going to be much more taxing on your quads and on all your muscles. Some people are not ready for that. Okay, so I did that little tiny inner set. Then I'm going to do, again, I'm just going to come like this and like this. See, that's not a big move. Drop your shoulders. Your weights are here at the side. Just keep saying, drop my shoulders and breathe. Okay? I'm going to shift, and I'm just going to pull a heel to the hip. And I'm not asking you to hold it, because here's the deal. You're holding balance with 2 weights in your hands. Okay? So that means you can't use your hands to balance with. So drop your shoulders, shift, bring the other heel up to your hip, and then come back down. And if you squeeze it too tight, you better be ready, because your muscle will seize up on you. Some of you know what I'm talking about. And all you have to do is bring your leg down and slowly go into a little stretch, and it'll release. But you don't have to get to that, okay? Do it gently. Drop your shoulders. They rib cage up. Strike a match. Bring the heel up, not too hard. And then put it down, okay? As you're managing these weights on both sides of you here, okay? Shift, strike the match, bring the heel to the hip, not too tight. And then we do just some repetitions here until you start to orientate, okay? So I'm just orientating to handle this load, to handle the shifting. So when I shift, my knees are soft. I very medium to slow pulling. And I want you to get comfortable with going into a shift, then pulling that heel back and going to the hip. Remember, we did that move with a knee straight on the get-go as we were starting this whole thing. But now I'm having you bend at the knee and act like you're going to kick yourself in the butt, which is what many of us want to do most days. Well, now you have the wherewithal to do that. I can't laugh. It makes me cough. See, I don't have to worry about clearing the room right now because there's nobody here but me and my dogs. Okay, stay with me. Don't stop. Do not stop. Okay, I'm trying to get you to really train not only your body, but I'm trying to train how comfortable you are with this kind of proprioception in pulling one leg at a time back, and the heel goes into the hip area. And I'm trying to get you to really get comfortable with balancing on one leg for this little move. And you keep these weights right here. You don't grip. See, I have 10 pounds in both hands. It gets tiresome, right? Let the weight just kind of hang down around the fingers. Take a breath. Now, one last thing on this move. If you find yourself shifting, bringing your leg up, everything's good, but you have to quickly put your foot down because you're drifting and you're trying to keep yourself from falling, you need to change something, okay? You need to hip hinge a little more. You need to bend your knee a little more. You need to tap your toe, get stable, pull that up, hold 1001, 1002, 1003, then put it down. What happens mostly whenever I'm doing this with a client is they're going too fast and they don't set themselves, okay? See, so I'm hanging out over here on this weaker leg of mine, making myself do this. One more on both sides. Here I go. Drop your shoulders. Keep your rib cage up. Breathe. 1001, 1002, 1003. Shift. Put that toe back. Drop your shoulders. Hold it there. 1, 2, 3. And back down. Nice. Very good. Okay. Here's your medium weights, correct? So we're going to do a different kind of carry. So I told you this is going to be about legs today, right? So I have emphasized feet, shoulders a lot in my class. But today, I'm trying to give you the tools to ambulate better, more smoothly. And how do you do that? By doing some of the very things that we are practicing. Okay, so now I'm carrying, but I put my my medium weights right here on my shoulders. And I'm just kind of keeping them balanced with my hands here. And I'm going in a normal walk, a normal carry. I walk, 2, 3, 4 steps, saying backwards. So don't go fast, going back, even though you think, okay, that my passageway is clear. I know nothing's in my way. I have seen kids, older adults, strong athletes, when they start backing up too quickly, they fall right on their butt. You know how? They did not bring their heels up when they were walking backwards. And because of that, they caught their heel because they didn't pick it up and they fell right back. Okay? So I'm doing this weighted carry. So this is different than having buckets or bags next to us, right? So I've got 20 pounds that I'm doing with a 10 pound and a 10 pound. Yours could be a 9 and a 9, a 6 and a 6, whatever you feel that you can put on your shoulders. It could be 2 bags of beans or rice that are 4 pounds, 5 pounds each. Okay, so I did repeated carries. Then I'm gonna just bring these down. Got them right here beside me. Big deep breath. Gonna do a split stance. Okay, so now I've still got that same weight. All right, I just stepped out. I'm gonna keep my heel down and back. But now I'm gonna emphasize that thing that we did during the warm-up. What was it? The hip hinge. And I did a 90 degrees. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna stand my ground. I'm gonna bend at the hip, not the waist. I'm gonna keep my hands right here, and all in the world I'm gonna do is straighten my arm. See this? My shoulders are down really hard. My shoulder blades are in, and all I'm gonna do is straighten my arms against this pretty big weight. It's a good medium weight. So I'm just bringing it right to here and then just straightening my arms. But I want to stay down. Take a big breath. Don't go into the toe box. Keep both feet flat on the ground. As you can see, my dogs are unimpressed, again, with all of this. They just absolutely could care less. Take a breath. Stay hip hinged. See, stay with me. Stay with me. Yeah, we got to do just a few more reps. Yep, we can do it. Press, keep your shoulders down. Keep your shoulder blades together. Push. Keep your chin tucked. Breath, 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 breath. Step back. Okay. Yes. Yes, Charlie, we have to do a whole other set on the other side. It's so fun. But before we do it, we're going to use our hands. Okay, so I stepped out with that foot. Now I know I have to step out with this foot. However, let's put our weights down. Let's lower our weight. Shake out our hands. Go like this. See? Go like this. Keep your hands down. See how far down my hands are? See, in order to stretch this through my hands and forearms, I don't want them up here. I want them down here, okay? That lessens stress on shoulders and gives me a great pull and a break from hanging onto those weights so much, okay? Now, I know I have to do this leg out, but before I do that, I'm just going to turn my toe out. I'm going to open and then bring it into a W. I'm going to open, bring it into a W. I'm going to open, bring it into a W. Then come back. Whew, big breath. Keep your chin tucked. Keep your rib cage up, shoulders down. I'm going to turn, and then I'm going to just open my arms, bring it into a W. Yeah, my thumb is up. Breath. Woo! Bring it into a W. One more. Big breath. All the way open. Bring it into a W. Nice. Okay. So now we can finish up that set that has to do with, you think that it has to do with this right here. No, it has to do with your legs, because I told you today was about legs, right? So I'm going to grab my weights, then I'm going to step my other leg out, okay? So if you forget which leg goes forward, that's a whole nother class, okay? So there's my leg. So I'm going to keep my feet down, all four corners. So I'm not lifting the heel here, okay? I will do that in a minute, but not right now. What I want to do now is hip hinge. I'm going to keep my chin tucked, but I want to hip hinge as far as I can, okay? So a lot of pressure is being put here. lot. All right. But you notice my knee is still pretty much in line with my ankle. My knee doesn't go out over my toe. So check yours. Okay. So I can tell you this is kicking my gluteals and my quad. Okay. Then this goes right here. And all I do is keep my shoulders down and in. And I do this press back while I stay in this down forward position. From the hip hinge, drop your shoulders. Pull those shoulder blades together. Stay down in the front. Yeah, the back leg is pretty straight. So it's a push. Breath. It's a push. Breath. Now some of you may be wanting to stand up on that front leg. Try not to. Try to stay in the move. Take a break anytime you need to, of course. But if you want to push with your legs in mind, woo! Breath. Keep your shoulders down. We got about 3 or 4. Here we go. Push. Just back. Open those arms right there. Open. Breath. Open. Keep your shoulders down. Breath. Shoulders down. Ribcage up. I think that's it. And then come forward. You should be shaking just a little bit because that split stance that we just did. Wow. Okay. Progressive loading of our squats, right? So we did this one where it was right here, correct? We just kind of went down and then we stood up. Not a big deal, right? Right. So now I'm going to use the same weights in my hands, but I'm going to lose the little pillow, okay? So now I have to go down a little further. Now, the first one that we do, I want you to just do it with no weight. So you're right in front of your chair, right? Drop your shoulders, keep your chin tucked, push your butt back. Here's your chair right here. I'm going to go back and I want to just feel where that's at. Okay, it's right there. And then I'm going to come back up. Here's where the trainer's tip is this. Pretend I'm watching you, and I'm going to push a buzzer every time you actually do the little swingy thing or bounce off of that chair or round your back. Now, some of you are going, whoa, if you use your pad in your chair and now you go down to touch the back parts of the legs but don't sit, it's much harder. Yes, it's supposed to be. So let's do one set with no weight. This is progressive, right? So here we go. Take a breath. So this time, shoulders are down. I just bring my hands to the front and I check all my systems. I go, okay, I'm just tapping the back part of my legs. I'm not really sitting down, but it's pretty far. Do I feel it as a stress in my knee? If I feel it as a stress in my knee, you did one or two things. You're not pushing your butt back enough, or you're rounding your back. And that way it will be a stress in the knee and the back. And you should feel no stress. The places you should feel stress is right here. Quadriceps. Woo! Quadriceps. Yes. Take a breath. Take a breath. Drop your shoulders. Say hip hinge. Say shama tail lights. Whatever it takes to get you to shove your butt back. Okay? It will, your knees will thank you. Your back will thank you. And you will get stronger in your quads. Yes, you will. Just two more. Just two more. Stay with me. One more. One more. Okay? So, I meant one more without the weights. I can't laugh. If I laugh, I cough. Okay. Take a breath. Now we're going to pick up the weights. So The first lesson is, how do you pick up a pretty heavy item that is on the floor? Sometimes it's, that's 20 pounds, okay? Here's 20 pounds. This is just dead weight. What if it was 20 pounds of a kicking, screaming kid? Oh my goodness, you'd be in trouble, right? Well, at that point, you see, I would ignore them and say, I'll come talk to you when you feel better. Okay, here I go. See, I'm right here. I'm going to go down, grab them, push into my heels, and come back. That's how you pick it up. Okay, now, you can do this one of two ways. You can do this right here without putting it attached to your quads. So you hold them right here, which you're going to have to really be careful with your posture. Or, I can tell you this is much harder. You can change the line and put them up here. This is very difficult. So if I go down here, woo, I'm going to really chew up those quads. And you can do this. Or you can do this. See? Just hold it right here. Breath. Woo. Breath. Go all the way, tap the back of the legs and come back up. Don't swing. Don't start going fast. Woo. Take a breath. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Or put them here. Boom. Much harder. Why is it much harder? Because you put your weight load at the other end of the lever, your body. Woo! So I'm not telling you to do it. I'm saying if you want to do it and you have good mechanics, great, but you can just hold it here. Breath. 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 Try not to sit. Try to just tap and come back. Just tap. You're going hard into the heels. Keeping your chin tucked. Yes, you can do this. 3 more. Here we go. Woo! Come on. One more. Breath. Yeah. Yay. Okay. I'm going to step wide. Put my weights down. But I'm not done with them. Okay. Take a big breath. Open. Open, close. Open, close. Take a big breath. Walk forward. Walk backward. Woo! So, I'm showing you, I hope, that you're starting to get the understanding of progression. See, progression is taking these steps that we did to do a simple sit to stand challenge for quads, back, core, all parts of your legs, but primarily here. Okay, your powerhouse right here. That's your powerhouse. All right. So progression, you notice we did it with a pad. We were higher, correct? Then we did it lower, no weight, and it was harder. The seat lower because I took the pad off. All right. Now I'm going to go back. So you would think I'm going to go to a real heavy weight and sit down in this very low chair. No, I am not. In fact, I'm going to put my pad back. This is how I'm going to show you progression. Okay, now I do have a heavier weight. Now instead of 10 pounds in both hands, I'm going to pick up 15 and 15. Whatever it is that you had, get a little tiny bit heavier. It could be one weight. That would be fine. and hold on to a heavier weight, just one. Okay? Now you notice what I did. I put the pad back. So let's see. This is going to be super easy. Okay? Whoa! How easy is that? See? Now I'm going to start again with a heavier weight. Got it? That's the progression. Okay? So here I am. Now I'm much heavier. 10 pounds heavier. Okay? So here I am. I'm not going to bring my hands out here. I'm not going to put it up on my shoulders. All I'm going to do is with a higher seat, I'm going to, in fact, I might even put them on here. Now that I've gone to a heavier weight load. Remember the first one we did with weights? We put the weights here. That's fine. So I'm going to go here, and I'm just going to go back, and I'm going to go tap, and then come back up. Because, see, you're propriocepting right now. Your body is going, oh, my stars. This nut has gone and picked up heavier weights. And then what they say is, they're talking to themselves inside your body there. They're saying, we need to tool up. Because she's doing this progression with this nut on the Zoom class. Okay? So we have to get stronger or we're going to be in trouble. See here? See here? I just barely tap. Take a breath. Don't go fast. When I see you do this, when I see you go like this and quickly jump up, you know what you're doing? You're using a bounce momentum. We don't want that. We want straight on muscle. We want muscle to do this. No bouncing. Okay? And I'm keeping these heavier weights. I'm just letting it follow down my quad. I'm hanging out down here. Tap. I'm into my heels, keeping my chin tucked, keeping my shoulders down. Boom. Come back up, but don't bounce back up. This is pure muscle pull. Yeah. Breath. Breath. Yeah. And if I think I want to, I'm not saying you have to, then if you're thinking, oh, let me just kind of put my weights out here. Let me not have them rest on my quads. Yeah, go ahead and try it. You'll see what I mean. Heels. Keep your chin tucked. Woo! Breath. 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 Breath into the heels. Taillights. Boom. Don't bounce. Use your muscles to get you back up. Breath. Woo. Breath. Shoulders down, ribcage up. Breathing. Back. Woo. Two more. You can do it. Here we go. One more. And come back. I can hear all of y'all cheering. You're just like amazed at yourself. Okay, see, I didn't put my weights down. All I'm doing is ambulating around. Get my breath back. It's going to take a lot of oxygen. When those muscles start firing against a heavy weight load, yes, you're going to push oxygen debt. I don't build this as an aerobic class. I love it. I want everybody out walking, riding bikes, on their stationary stuff, swimming, however you find. But this is strength work, so you can do all of that better. That's the point. Okay, take a breath. Now this heavier weight, which is 10 pounds more. Okay, so I got 15 and 15. Do you remember what we did before when we started with the weights? Yeah, I'm going to put them right here. I'm going to put them right here. I'm just going to hang on to them with my little hands. And I'm just going to ambulate or carry. And do you remember what I told you about walking backward? Huh? You start going too fast. And what do? You do not bring your heel up. And that's why people fall. Okay, so when I go back, I go toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel. And I'm doing this with 30 pounds coming down my bones, my structure, my muscles. It's very doable and very conducive to joint health because we're not putting you into a weird position and overlifting or anything like that. I'm merely ambulating or walking, carrying with a load on my shoulders. And if I ask you, is your tummy tight? How many did I catch just now? Is your tummy tight? Shoulders down, rib cage up. Toe, heel, try not to wobble. That's my deal that I have to tell myself all the time. Do not wobble. And if you will walk around for, I would say, 20 to 30 steps, maybe two times in a day or every other day, whichever you choose, whatever on a regular basis is. And I don't mean that once every year. I mean it per week, okay? You need at least twice to 3 times a load like this that's going to really push you, okay? One more. Back, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel. Now we're going to lift into the toe box because I have the heavier weight here. Drop your shoulders, tight tummy, push into the mid to the front of your foot and just lift the heels and hold balance. And how are you going to do that? Well, you do that by keeping your knees soft. Breath, 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 breath. Now I'm going to get these things off of me, okay? And I'm going to put them back down, okay? So in progressive loading for your quads, you see, I will now not put more weight on or do the heavier weight with the lower chair. Now I will take the pillow out and I'll go down all the way for another little set. I hope Kathy's denoting. I don't know if Kathy's on. A little set, little. I mean, if we make 10, that's great. But if you do 4, that's great too, okay? Here we go. See, I'm easy. See, I'm easy. So here I am. I'm going to go all the way down. And this time, instead of using my hands anywhere else, they're going to go here. See? Don't do that swingy thing, okay? Just don't do it. Drop your shoulders. Do a hip hinge. Really push your butt back. Now start really pressing into the heels. Keep your chin tucked, and you keep your hands like this. Now, some of you might find this very hard. And in that case, of course, use your hands. You're not ready to do that yet. Use your hands. Help yourself here and up. But when you can get to the lower, or go ahead and put the pad back on the chair. That's fine too. That's a good way to modify, okay? If you're not ready. Then we go to the heels and we come up. Take a breath, push into the heels, and down. I think I'm going to make it without starting to cough. Here we go. Take a breath. Here we go. Heels. Don't do that little bouncy thing. Drop your shoulders. Take a breath. Drop your shoulders. Chin tucked. You're going to really go into that hip hinge. Push into the heels really hard when you're starting to come up. Okay? Drop your shoulders. Come back. Here we go. Up. Drop your shoulders. One more. Breath, don't swing. And come up. Then you do one of the main moves that I try to do all the time. We did multiple carries today. We just did it differently. We did some split stance, but we're going to go a little wider. Okay? So stand here like this, I'll do it this way so you can see me. See, a normal split stance would be kind of like that, like you're going to take a walk. I'm going to go a little more, all right? And if you're somebody who struggles with balance and or plantar fasciitis, you don't want to put too much pressure on the feet. So if I'm asking you to go a little wider, have a chair where you can put your hand on it. That will just be smart. Anytime you do single leg work, get so that you can put your hand on something. Okay, so see, I went a little wider. See that, how I stepped out? That's key. So you go like you're going to take a step. This is a split stance. You have to do this to walk. But I'm going to go a little wider. That's why I put my chair here, see? Drop your shoulders, tight tummy. Step out a little more. Oh, yeah, that changes things. Okay? Stay back. Now do you see my back knee? See my back knee? See how I'm coming down? See how I'm not going out? I'm coming down. And I have my chair here if I need it. See how I'm down there and I'm just going to pulse down there. Right there. Woo! See my knee here? My knee here is not over my toe. Stay back. Pretend I'm punching you right here, not too hard. I just want you to stay upright. Ear, shoulder, hip. See? Ear, shoulder, you see that line? See this? This should be kicking your muscles down there. Okay, take a breath. A couple more. Okay, come up. See how I didn't just pull my foot? I come up first and then come back gently. All right, other leg. So I'm going to take a walk. See that? My chair is here. Now I'm going to go a little wider. See that? Now I'm going to start to bring that back knee down. See that? Okay, see this? This does not go out over my toe. If this is going out over your toe, I'll guarantee you you're doing this. That is not what this move is. Stay up here. Bring that knee down. Get down as far as you know you can. And then you're going to pulse right there. Breath, 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 breath. Hang out here just for a little bit. Breath, breath, breath. Little tiny pulses. Breath. 3, 2, 1. And bring it back. And your legs should be shaking a little bit. All right? That's my goal. Is to make them shake a little bit. All right? I mean in a good way. Not like shake like, you know, like they're waving at everybody. When you're walking. It's good to see Doris out there. Take a breath. Your tummy's in tight. I'm just releasing. That's all I'm doing here. I'm going to go hug. And I'm going to bring my shoulders up to my ears. I'm going to tighten in my butt. I'm going to push my upper back out. And then come back up. Then I'm going to address the back part of my chair. It could be a wall. It could be a counter. But you're going to do a back extension. Okay? You're going to really get that hyperextension going. Don't tighten your butt here. Drop your shoulders. Ooh, and really push the hips toward the chair. Drop your shoulders. Breath, 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 breath. Just hang out here for a little bit. Just do some hanging out there. And yes, you could do this on the ground, putting pillows underneath you. Your back will just thank you for it. I'm going to do a whole thing on Wednesday with research that they've done on one major move that we've done a lot in this class, but I'm going to really hone in on it. And the people that did this, that were prone for osteoporosis, did not get into a worse situation because it kept the bones from actually fracturing. So I'm going to do that on Wednesday. Can you just hardly not wait? Good job, everybody. I'm going to take it off here.